All right, I'm done being casual about this. I feel like in past videos I've touched on meditation a little bit. I've kind of briefly talked about how it's helped me, but I'm done playing it small when it comes to meditation. Like, I don't care. I'm shouting it from the rooftops. Meditation, it literally saved my life. It saved my life. And I think the power of meditation is a lot deeper than what we realize. Meditation is not just some Zen term. Like, bro, meditation is literally, I think, the key to our power. It saved me from my anxiety. It gave me a solution to my anxiety when I thought everything else was hopeless. And who knows, my spiraling anxiety and stress, which led to depression, which made me depressed because I was acting as a smaller version of myself. I was scared. I was playing it safe. I was hiding my true self. And who knows what that could have turned into over time. I don't know. If I didn't find a solution like meditation, shit, I might not even be here right now. I might be on anxiety medication, antidepressants. Like, I'm so happy that meditation taught me how to control my mind. And so here's an example. I heard someone explain it like this, and I thought it was freaking awesome. So our mind is like the weather. It's like the clouds. It's always changing. It's inconsistent. Some of our minds are a little bit stormier and more chaotic than others. And so we can just accept the fact that our mind is going to change sometimes. But the sun is always behind those clouds. It's always above those storms. And it doesn't change. It's just always there shining. The sun is like our soul. The sun is our true self. The weather is our mind. And we can control that mind when we rise above it and realize that our true awareness, our true selves, is the sun. And think about it, right? The sun just shines. It just exists. It doesn't have to think about shining next week. It's not worrying about how it shined yesterday. It just does it. It just exists. It's just natural. And that is our soul. That is the true version of us. And if we flip our awareness into that higher version of ourselves, we can operate in an entirely different way. And that's really what consciousness is. It may sound like this obscure, out there term, but that's what consciousness is, being conscious, operating in that higher level of awareness. You really start to see things from a bird's eye view. You're not caught up in the weeds. You're not getting swept away by the ebbs and the flows of life. It's really like you're above the ocean. You're above the waves, the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows. And you're like flying over the ocean in a helicopter. You're just looking at it from a higher point of view. In fact, you are the ocean. You are everything. I started to notice how everything in this world is connected. How really everything is just like one big organism. Everything is all just energy. It's all just atoms. It's all made up of the same thing. And the underlying structure of the universe, like the positive and the negative, are all playing out on multiple levels throughout the universe, if that makes sense. And in meditation, you can start to tap into that soul, just existing, just observing part of you. And from there, you're just existing, so anxiety really can't exist. Stress doesn't exist. When you control the chatter that your mind is just producing, really to keep you safe, when you can control that and rise above it, anxiety cannot touch you. When I first started meditating, I would focus on my breath. That's what they say, right? Focus on your breath. So that's what I did. And the breath is a good anchor. It anchors your focus in the present moment. It's always there and it's always moving. So you can just shift your attention from everything going on outside to your breath, which is going on. It's a process going on inside of you. So right there, you're making a shift in your focus from the external to the internal. And it is also really good for my nervous system, for my mind, to consciously slow down my breathing. Because when we get in that fight or flight response, our breathing speeds up. So it's good for me to focus on and consciously control my breathing. Because when my breath slowed down, everything else slowed down. and to really make sure I was breathing in general, because a lot of times we just stop breathing. Our breathing gets really shallow. And sometimes I would notice I would actually stop breathing when I was anxious. And I would just be restricted. My whole body would be tense and would be stiff. And so when I started meditating, I was focusing on my breath, and I would count from 1 to 6 on the inhale. So I would go, and I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then exhale. You can count backwards from 6 to 1, or I just counted 1 to 6 again. And then I kept increasing that as my lung capacity got better. And so with the breath and with the numbers, over time, with practice, every day I would do it consistently, I would get to a state of full presence where none of the shit that was nagging me outside would be able to affect me anymore. And now I don't even really need to do all that. I can just center myself instantly. I can go fully present instantly. When I get into a stressful moment, I just take a second, recenter my focus back in the present moment, and because I'm so familiar with it, I can do it right away. And I was meditating today, and I was thinking about what I actually do. And I kind of I visualize feeling myself opening up. Like I feel, I don't know what it is, my body, my energy, my essence, whatever, just opening up. And I feel myself loosening up. I feel my energy, I feel myself expanding. I don't really know how else to describe it. Because when we're stressed, right, we do the opposite. We close everything down and we shut everything off. And like I enter a state, I wish I could really describe it better, but I enter a state where it's like I kind of lose feeling of my body. I become nothingness, but at the same time, I become like flow. I'm pure flow. I'm pure energy. I'm no longer a victim of what my mind is telling me. But then I can start to control my mind and think the thoughts that I want. What's really happening when we're meditating and we're observing our mental chatter and we're consciously centering ourselves in the present moment is it's almost like we're cleansing our aura. We're purifying our aura, our energy. We're purifying our mind of all the crap that's bogging us down, whether it's those anxieties, those fears, the negative self-talk, information overload. It's like clearing your mind, clearing your energy. And it really helps to balance and neutralize you. And I think it helps because your body responds to what your mind is doing. It responds to your thoughts and emotions. So when I can calm my mind and relax my mind, I think my hormones operate better, my organs are operating better, and it really helps to balance myself out. It really helps to unify me, as opposed to, like I talk about a lot of us are just fragmented. A lot of us are pulled in all these different directions, and we're not aligned with our heart. Our mind is super chaotic, and from the place of a mind that is still, that is not ravaged with disempowering, made up thoughts to keep us safe, but in reality we are safe. When we are fully just existing, then we can start to install our intentions, and they will occur much faster because our focus is improved when we're fully present. And then if we start to control our emotions and we put a very powerful feeling behind our intention, I think it can happen a lot faster because it sends a more powerful and clear signal out to the world. Because I remember a quote from the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. Deepak said something like, if your mind is a turbulent ocean, that's just chaos, and you try to put an intention in there, it's like throwing the Empire State Building into the ocean, and it won't even make a ripple. But if your mind is like a still ocean, one little pebble will make a huge ripple. That is what you do when you can create a relaxed mind state. You start to, I think, just gain better control over reality. And I talked about that in my last video. I talked about intention setting and manifestation, so go check that out too. And I think meditation looks different for everyone. Really, it's how do you train yourself to just enter the present moment on command. However you do that is great. But when you tap into that expanded level of consciousness. It's really like you start to look at yourself from a higher dimension. The third dimension is physical reality, and a lot of us are too tied into that. The fourth dimension is our mind. And the fifth dimension, I believe, is the one that's observing all of that stuff. So hopefully this video, if you're not into meditation already, hopefully it motivated you to explore it. The lighting's kind of weird on this video, but whatever, I don't care. Hopefully the point got across. Check out my other videos. Subscribe to show your support. It'd really be appreciated. Catch you next time. Peace.